Hello and welcome to How to Complete Your Continuing Competence Program with the Alberta College of Medical Diagnostic and Therapeutic Technologists. The Continuing Competence Program, or CCP, is a mandatory component of registration with the college as required by Alberta's Health Professions Act and Medical Diagnostic and Therapeutic Technologists Profession Regulation. The CCP requires college registrants to complete a reflective practice review in each registration year. The CCP's annual reflective practice review includes a personal assessment of the registrant's own practice, the development and implementation of a learning plan that follows the registrant's personal assessment of their practice, and a written evaluation of the result of the learning based on the learning plan. The annual CCP cycle begins on October 1st and ends with a final submission deadline of September 30th. An audit of selected registrant submissions occurs after the deadline. The number of learning hours you need depends on how long you've been registered with the college during the CCP cycle year. Most registrants, those who have held registration and a practice permit for the entire CCP cycle of October 1st to September 30th, must complete a minimum of 12 hours of learning during that period. New registrants, or those recently reinstated, have different requirements. Registrants who have not held registration and a practice permit for the entire CCP cycle of October 1st to September 30th must complete a minimum number of learning hours based on the number of months they were registered during that period. Those registered for 0 to 4 months must complete a minimum of 4 hours of learning. Those registered for 5 to 8 months must complete 8 hours, and those registered for 9 to 12 months must complete 12 hours. Remember, you're required by legislation to complete your CCP annually. Non-compliance with CCP requirements is considered unprofessional conduct and could risk a registrant's practice permit, even leading to suspension. Be aware that your CCP records may be reviewed by college staff and Continuing Competence Committee members as part of the submission and audit processes. There are security procedures in place to flag for irregular entries. The CCP submission process can be completed using My Profile, the college's online system for registrants to manage their application, registration, annual renewal, and CCP participation. To access it, start from the college's homepage. Go to the top right corner and select Registrant Login. Scroll down the Registrant Login page and click on Login to My Profile. Using your email address and password, log in to My Profile. Be aware that your entries in My Profile and My CCP are not saved automatically. For security reasons, your session will expire 20 minutes after logging in unless you save frequently. To enter your CCP learning record, click on the My CCP button on the home screen. Then select the CCP cycle or annual period where you want to enter your learning record by clicking on the arrow. Each registrant is required to complete a minimum number of learning hours in each cycle, which will appear on the left. As you add your complete learning records, your total completed hours will appear to the right. Your reflective practice review is made up of individual learning records, also known as objectives. To create a new learning record, click on the blue Add button under Objectives. You can create as many learning records as you would like. To fill out the learning record, understand that your CCP is based on the college's standards of practice. Before you select or enter a learning record, you should determine how your learning aligns with one of the standards. To begin your self-assessment, choose a standard where you would like to enhance your practice or that coordinates with your learning activity. There are 5 standards to choose from. 1.0, provision of patient care/services. 2.0, professional accountability. 3.0, professional roles. 4.0, practice management. And 5.0, protection of patients from sexual abuse and misconduct. Then select the specific standards indicator this learning is related to. Your learning plan activity is the professional development activity you selected to achieve your learning. The drop-down list is related to each standard and indicator, therefore the activities may be different for each standard. Each option is assigned a maximum number of hours. Here are the maximum number of hours you may claim for each activity. They range from 1 hour for, say, completing a college module to up to 12 hours for taking a formal course or attending a professional event. The next section asks you to describe the learning activity, its progress status, completion date, and number of hours. First, type in the title of your activity, such as the course or module name, or webinar or in-service title. Under status, choose whether this learning activity is in progress or already complete. Select cancel if you did not complete the learning and therefore do not want to include it in your annual CCP submission. Select the completion date from the drop-down box. If you don't know the exact date of completion, please choose your best estimate. As mentioned earlier, each activity has been assigned a maximum number of hours. Enter the number of hours you spent on the activity up to the maximum allowed. Did you remember to save? To ensure that you don't lose any of your work, frequently scroll to the bottom of the screen and select Save for Later. The next questions ask for a learning summary, starting with a description of the activity. Write a short summary of your learning experience, whether it's a course, webinar, or training session. Focus on the learning, in other words, a new skill, concept, or method. Highlight the key topics or areas of focus. Next, describe the new or enhanced knowledge you gained from the learning activity. Focus on what was new to you and how it expanded your understanding in your professional practice. Finally, describe how the learning impacted your practice. Discuss what changes you have made in your day-to-day practice due to the learning. Be specific about what you're doing differently now and how it has improved your practice. Share the positive results or outcomes that have come from applying this new learning, and focus on how it has benefited your patients, team, or overall work performance. You're almost done. Just remember to scroll down and select Save for Later. If you have more learning records, you may start a new objective and add the next one now. Thank you for watching. Your commitment to continuing competence is an investment in your professional future. If you require more CCP info or learning activity ideas, see our website at acmdtt.com under Continuing Competence or contact the college at info@acmdtt.com.